Last month, we learned the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell was tricked by a fake call from Russian pranksters. In a video chat earlier this year, Powell discussed global politics and the economy with someone he thought was the Ukrainian president, Zelensky. Turns out they were Russian supporters of Putin who previously pranked other influential officials. CNN's Maathiew got a chance to speak with the pranksters and investigate the motive behind their tricks. Take a look.
They're notorious pro-Kremlin pranksters. But the Ukraine war has given them a new focus and new victims to deceive.
Look who's there, Mr. President.
Like George W. Bush, who thought he was speaking with the Ukrainian president, who'd supposedly called to discuss the Western military alliance.
You always wanted to take Ukraine into NATO, not Russia, but Ukraine, always, as I remember.
That's right. You see, I felt Ukraine needed to be in the EU and in NATO.
A Russian official later told the pranksters it revealed the truth about long-time US ambitions to distance Russia from Ukraine.
How do I know that you're not prank calling me now?
And getting to the truth, what would otherwise be left unspoken, is what the pranksters told me they are all about.
First, it's about what this person is really like, how a president of a country behaves in an informal conversation. We're interested in getting more honest answers than we would in an ordinary public interview.
One of the criticisms that is levelled against you is that you're always, sympathetic to the Kremlin point of view. Let me ask you directly, are you working at the behest of the Kremlin to expose foreign officials or opponents of the Russian authorities?
In general, it's wrong to say that we're pro-Kremlin. We're more pro-Russian pranksters since this is our country that we love and worry about. You say that we only call those who are against the Kremlin, but the issue is that Russia simply doesn't have many friends now.
Ukraine, on the other hand, has many, especially in Washington. And posing as Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, has got the Russian pranksters' results.
We just say it's a great honor to speak to you.
With influential figures like the chair of the US Federal Reserve, who thought it was the real President Zelensky quizzing him on the global economy and suggesting the Fed let Ukraine print its own US dollars to fund the war with Russia.
If you could present me a printing press, I would be really happy.
We have one of those, but we keep it in the basement.
Oh, okay.
So again, I know you're going to be dependent on a lot of help from the West and from the United States.
And it's not just US officials being pranked.
We would like to continue the nuclear program in order to protect ourselves from Russia.
Britain's defence minister was taken aback when who he thought was Ukraine's prime minister floated the idea of nuclear weapon.
I think more than being neutral, Russia would really hate that.
For sure, we know this.
The British government condemned the prank as straight from the Kremlin playbook. Why haven't you prank called sort of prominent people in Russia, like Vladimir Putin, like the head of the Chechen Republic, Ramzan Kadyrov, like Prigozhin, the head of Wagner? Why aren't you prank calling those people to expose the truth about them?
It can make a disaster in our country because such calls could make a damage in our inner politics, and especially in current situation.
But you're not worried about the danger and the risks of doing what you do in other societies?
Think about risks that could hurt our society, of course.
But the truth is, really powerful Russians would never tolerate being pranked in this way. Vovan and Lexus would simply be unable to get away with duping a Kremlin that's cracked down hard on dissent. Whereas Russia's enemies in the West, especially in the US, are considered fair game.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good talking to you guys.
Thank you. Slava России.
Maathiew, CNN, London.